Hello, and welcome to Troubles in Tory. This is session 14 of our first campaign of Chronicles of the Fae. I'm Faye, the MC for this campaign, and with me I have some friends, and we're going to play D&D. This campaign is a special project, one of many, set in the world of the Wilder. The Wilder Project is a shared world IP where creators can use the structure and lore of this fantasy world called the Wilder in order to create their own stories and games. Some of these stories and games are already in progress, such as our webcomic Magnum L, our mobile game Tower of Gaia, and our tabletop board game Kingstone, all of which are currently released or coming soon. To learn more about those projects and how to support them, you can go to www.thewilderproject.com to learn more. Before we begin the campaign proper, I'd just like to cover some of my ground rules for the channel. The first is that it's important to remember I am not a pro DM, nor are my players professional role players. We have receptive ears and open hearts for any feedback folks have, but it's our game and we're going to play it how we like it. So respect our playstyle, and we'll make sure our community members respect yours too. Along those lines, this campaign is set in the world of the Wilder, which is not directly compatible with D&D rules. For the most part, we'll be sticking to the rules of D&D for all the mechanical aspects of the game, but flavor-wise, everything is not always going to be a perfect fit between in-game descriptions of effects and how we explain those effects in this world. We are implementing some custom rules that we anticipate releasing in a module further down the line so that you can play in the world of the Wilder too. Finally, one of the reasons why I love playing D&D the most is because you can never truly expect what might happen next, but that does mean that none of us will have complete control over the content that will be covered during the course of the campaign. Please be mindful of what content might be potentially distressing to you, and if you feel like it is coming up, we highly encourage that you take a break from the live stream and pick the story back up via VOD on YouTube once the live play is over. All right, let's play some D&D. During last session, our crew set out to find new lodgings based on the recommendation of their Thieves Guild contact, Veo. They ventured to a new area of downtown Toraigh known as Keelhall Heights. There, you found new lodgings at the Happy Sea Dog Inn, where you put down enough gold for a 5-day stay under the name Johnson. The party then split up to pursue different interests. Anna did some investigating into the criminal underworld of Toraigh and met an old toy store owner named Edith Willoughby of Willoughby's Bargain Playthings. Anna was able to get a little information about the Greybloods and her own criminal past through paying some exorbitantly high prices for some rather mediocre children's toys. Ruben tailed Anna to the toy store in an attempt to learn what she was up to, but was unable to get very much in the way of details. Flynn set out to find a better source of alchemy supplies and was directed to a fine alchemist shop called the Brass Cane Brews, where he was able to purchase the recipe and ingredients for healing potions, which he made later that evening. Meanwhile, Raina and Shoal sought to do some information gathering of their own among the people of Toraigh, but Shoal was rather intoxicated from their time at the Happy Sea Dog. Raina overheard some conversation about something called the Privateering Act, and Shoal daringly walked inside a nearby workshop, which happened to be a Wainwright's, and through some iffy negotiating was able to procure 2 large wooden wheels. The party regrouped at the inn, where they were able to learn a little bit about Flynn's past before setting off to their respective rooms for the evening. And that is where we pick back up. Okay. So you all are heading back to your 2 rooms, your 2 double rooms that you secured earlier in the day. Is there anything that anyone's looking to do before you take your long rest here? Nope. Okay, perfect.
I won't slap Flynn with a toy tonight.
Slap in the box.
I will long rest you all now. And any of you who get to select new spells for the day can go ahead and prepare those. Your sleep is relatively undisturbed. It does take a while for the bottom floor of the Happy Sea Dog to calm down. There is quite a lot of debauchery and revelry going on down there, and the music is quite loud until about midnight. But you all are able to find rest nonetheless. And you wake up around 7 in the morning and are able to pursue your interests for the day. Yeah,
Joel is going to use the blood red crystal.
Okay.
And store 1 charge.
Cool. So then you are reducing your...
Oh, yes.
Yeah, Shoal, the -5 HP.
Okay. I will go ahead and do that here. Ooh, you're a little squish there.
Ooh.
A little bit.
Okay. Yeah, so you rest some of the vitality from your swarm into this crystal, and it glows kind of warmly now, almost like there is a little kind of liquid blood inside the crystal, though it is just the appearance.
Close to coagulated.
Yeah. Anyone else doing anything as they start their morning?
Nope.
Okay.
Can I help you, man?
Yeah, so you all are able to head downstairs. And the first of you who arrive in the morning would find the bar room to be relatively empty. There's like maybe 3 other patrons scattered about at different tables throughout this kind of long, narrow bar room. And you can see the tall, lanky toy knight that you met the day before is still there, just kind of wiping down the counter. And he looks up as a few of you come downstairs and says, "Good morning. Can I get you anything? Breakfast?"
Yeah, new Dusty. Give us whatever you got.
Rodrigo, I'd love some bacon.
He looks at all of you quite strangely and he says, "All right, bacon we can do. We also have mutton leg, duck eggs, and peaches for those of you that are interested."
We would like all of that, Dusty.
Okay, that'll be 2 silver pieces.
What actually is your name?
Oh, my name's Kenver. Kenver Colenso. I'll put that
Silver?
in the chat.
Okay.
I like new Dusty better.
Oh, this is
That's just rude. What if someone
Definitely
called
not
you
the
like New Steven?
Depends. Was Steven a good guy?
Does it matter? It's not your name.
Yeah, but if they're associating me with somebody good, then that's a compliment, right?
Ma'am.
Listen, so long as your coin spends, you can call me whatever you like.
Neither.
And he begins taking everyone's orders. So that'll be 2 silver pieces for you, Shoal, and 2 silver pieces for anyone else who's having breakfast.
okay.
And he heads into the back room, and the bar is relatively empty at this point, with the exception of you all. Do you all take a seat at the bar? Are you going to sit at a table?
Before I sit or anything, can I just, I mean, it's probably a little bit early, but can I just kind of like scope the room and see if there are any of my little friends that I may be expecting?
Sure. You don't need to make a roll for this. It's a pretty empty room.
Right.
So it's pretty obvious that there's nobody here quite yet.
Cool. I
What
figured
time is
it might be like, I don't know if the next day would have been fast enough to get any information about anything, but I figured I would keep an eye out.
Yeah, definitely.
What time is it? Is that what you asked, Joel?
Yeah, at this point it's about 7:30 a.m.
Ew.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and I imagine, Shoal, I don't know what a hangover feels like for you, but you were definitely feeling that this morning. Especially since you put 5 points of your vitality into that crystal. Everything's just kind of ringing for Shoal, and the little insects in their swarm are just vibrating a little
He
bit.
needs a little hair of the dog.
We have felt like this before.
Collection of
Only once.
Saying that with the confidence of someone who doesn't drink. You need hair of the dog. That definitely will fix you. That's all right here.
We are in the Happy Sea Dog.
I don't necessarily appreciate your impression of me there, Anna.
What?
He's a rabbit, not a dog.
It kind of sounded like a gruff accent. Nah, never mind. It was a dumb joke.
There was nothing that I was saying that was any allusion to making fun of you, so I don't know where you got that idea.
What is hair of the dog? Where do we find a dog?
Nah, it's the first half of a bigger expression. It means hair of the dog that bit you. It's an idiom. Does it
We were not
understand it?
bit by a dog.
No,
We
but
bit
the
dog.
alcohol-
We are the ones that ate the dog, not the other way around.
The alcohol in the situation is the dog.
So are you saying he needs to drink more?
He needs to drink more.
Oh. I mean, that seems pretty possible.
That also seems very foolish, but you know, you're your own person.
Well, we'll make sure it's a tiny bit. Hi, Kenva.
Persons.
The door to the back of the room opens and the toy knight's helmet comes sticking out. He says, "Yes, can I get you something?"
Do you have any breakfast alcohol with like tomato juice?
Did you have a Bloody Mary?
We're
Oh.
inventing Bloody Marys right now because I happen to know that that's a really good remedy.
I'll have
Marys
to
are
look and
delicious.
see if we have any tomato juice, but you know, the sturgeon stout's always good for the morning.
We'll take a fourth of just like a normal serving.
Okay, right you
Like
are.
a
And he
shot of ale.
he takes out like a double shot glass and opens the tap for the sturgeon stout and fills it up a little bit. And he puts it on the bar and he just says 1 copper piece.
It's
I gotcha.
Yes. Would you like a shot of Bud Light?
It's like more like Blue Moon.
Ruben paid for it, by the way,
Yingling.
Okay.
because I want to make sure nobody else
Can I have a shot of
forks over
Stella
a
Artois?
copper. I don't want anybody
Yeah.
over a copper.
He goes,
Yeah,
"I'll go in the
shot of
back and take a look
Modelo,
for that
please."
juice." And he darts back into the back room again.
I feel like I should tell him not to worry about it now that we have her. Okay.
We're gonna lift up the cloth sack a little bit and just shove all the beer down our throat.
Nice.
Throat. Mm.
Millions of throats.
It's rather oaty, kind of good for the morning, but still is a stout. So you all are able to take a seat at one of the larger. They have like circular tables that can seat 5. And after a few moments pass, Kenver comes out with several plates in hand of your various breakfasts and serves them on the table. And turns to Ruben and says, "I'm sorry, I don't think we have any tomato juice. It's been a while since I've used that for anything."
It's been a while.
I mean, it's all right. He's got his hair of the dog. I got my bacon. I'm not worried about it.
Alrighty, well, let me know if I can get you anything else. And he heads back to the back room.
All right.
That's good.
Ruben pats Shoal on the back and says, "How you feeling, buddy?"
It will definitely help.
Everything hurts.
Are you looking at demons? What are you looking at? Stop just looking in the corner of the room.
Cat attack.
She's just sitting on my desk looking at the corner. Am I gonna die?
We see and feel through everywhere, so everything hurts. Everything, even though we are covered. It is blinding and pounding.
Yeah, your blind sense is warbling right now.
I think what you need is a distraction. So we should go get a move on as soon as possible to Veo and get our day started. And you'll forget all about how awful you feel.
So are we assuming, because you know she didn't give us a time, are we assuming that we just kind of like go in the area that she said and just wait? And like I'm assuming there's like little children or whatever that she talks to that are like running around, that they'll be like, you know, they're there standing in the corner. It's really weird.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Did you want our input?
Not yours specifically.
honestly, I think we stick out kind of like a sore thumb in the slums.
You walked right into that door.
So
Yeah, I
okay.
think that makes sense. I'm sure she has feelers keeping an eye on the place.
we could go back to what was that place we were last time with the nice man who gave us the sack?
You know,
The Still Tide Brewery you're talking about? Still
Thank
Tide
you.
Ale House?
Yes.
Yeah, that is where Vea told you to meet her.
All right. Do you think she lives there? Is it like an inn?
I mean,
We think
I doubt she would tell us.
she might live there. It is an inn.
So it's actually not an inn. It's just a
So
a bar
actually,
room.
You're incorrect.
Built
Wait,
over a
Ale
tunnel.
house?
Yeah.
Didn't the barkeep say like, yeah, you guys can't stay here,
No,
so find somewhere else?
He was saying
think he meant
here
the
as in
whole
the
slums.
slums,
Yeah.
because the slums
Oh,
cater to the toys.
gotcha.
I've always
Half
treated
of the
bars
party is
just
not.
like inns everywhere I go, and it always seems to work out just fine.
Yeah, even if they don't have an inn, I force them to make space in a back room for me where I
They
can.
usually wake me up when it's ready to go, and then I'll leave.
And that's how you imagine a lot of people do treat the Still-Tide Ale House.
Well, we do have wheels. Lynn, how long do you think it could take to make a cart to get back to that nice woman from before?
Well, I would need to get all the wood and materials for
She's
it.
gonna be the big bad. We've created a
Um,
villain story.
Then it'll probably take a few hours after that point. I don't know if we have time today. Maybe if we get back early tonight, we can pick some stuff up on our way back.
Maybe we'll find more materials while we're out.
Material girl.
Well,
Yeah, there are wagon pieces just lying around everywhere.
oh yeah.
Maybe
Hey,
Theo's
clearly
mission
we
for
need
us
wood. We just
is-
need wood.
is to make a wagon.
Well, then she better give us wheels because we only have one set.
But if it's like a cart that you like carry as opposed to just push, then 2 wheels is fine.
We
Wheel
bring the
barrel.
wheels with us.
No.
Probably not.
But what if Veo asks us to do something and we need wheels?
We
Then
can
we
come
can
back
come
and
back
We
get
can
for
come
them.
back.
Okay.
Had a very hive mind situation just happened.
Yep.
We'll come back. Don't worry about it.
Well, are we ready to get a move on?
Well, I actually got to thinking,
Oh,
what's the status on those disguises that you contracted?
Like a week.
that's right. Yeah, we ain't there yet.
Yeah, so there's 2 more days. She said 4
We
days.
ain't there yet, she said. That was the most southern. We ain't there yet.
I guess we can risk taking you into the slums, but it's not going to be fun for you two.
There's no enforcers there. They're the ones looking for us. At least I don't think there's no enforcers there.
No, I'm talking about how rude the slums are to non-toys.
Oh,
Yeah,
that'll
I
be
don't give a fuck.
fine.
Right. I mean, I don't care one way or the other, but
Oh yeah, no, it doesn't really matter because at the end of the day, I can probably take most of them.
well,
There'll be no taking the common citizens. They are just fine doing their own thing.
Yeah, no, I'm. It's not like I'm going to pick a fight, but if they pick a fight with me, I am confident that I will probably be able to beat most, if not all of them.
I guess that's fair enough. But
I was one of the leading champions in the kill ring. What can I say?
what is
Yes.
a kill ring? Have we been through this?
No, we haven't.
What is a
Right.
kill ring? Or
Well-
Shoal, were you gonna say something?
We just wanted to remind Anna that the first day we met her, she got knocked out by an eel.
Oh yeah.
It was a swarm of eels, to be fair.
Yeah, and
One
at that
rogue
part,
eel.
I was already low on hit points, so whatever hit points are. And I am perfectly healthy now, and I'm not going to be swarmed by eels. It's pretty rude of you.
Nobody thinks they're going to be swarmed. And then, poof, and we pull up our hood. A swarm.
That is a good point.
Everything in me would just be like slap. but I'm not going to do that.
So what is a kill ring?
It was like the less than legal fight club.
Oh. Why were you there?
Because it was my job.
Can I take a history check about these kill rings?
Sorry, sure. Go ahead and make a history
Like,
check.
Were you muted?
Yeah, I was muted. Yep.
Saw him out. Dang it. I want to know stuff.
You will
I
know
wanna know stuff
nothing
already.
about me.
I don't want to talk about it. I just want to tell people.
It's certainly
You
not
only know
legal.
what I give you.
It's certainly not legal to do like fight rings or anything like that. You know that sometimes the pirates will do them when their festivities get a little rowdy, but you haven't heard of anything official like that.
Okay.
Like with
I mean, I'm not gonna say that they don't, but they never by my hand, or I don't believe Freya's or oh my god.
Manazi.
Thank you. Manakati
sounds like a good way to really hone your skills.
doesn't remember anyone's names ever. That's now part of her characterization.
Sounds
What
kind
were
of
your
fun.
names again? But yeah, you know, I mean, yeah, like I said, us professionals probably like haven't, but like I'm sure like the amateurs that go in because they think that they're like all that. I'm pretty sure people have died because of them, but you know, they're obviously idiots.
Did you go up did you start as an amateur or were you already pretty professional? You started participating.
I mean, I feel like everyone kind of starts amateur. I was maybe like an amateur who had unknown skill because it came fairly naturally, but you know, it's probably something former life that kind of stuck. But like I said, don't know. So
Well, fair enough. Sounds kind of interesting. I'd love to maybe participate one day. Sounds like it'd be kind of fun.
we got to beef you up a little bit, but I'm sure
Fair
you
enough.
can hold your own for at least a little bit.
If they let me bring my gauntlets, I think I could hold my own.
Do I know if they would allow that? I mean,
Oh
obviously.
yeah,
I
they
know,
allow
but-
weapons.
Oh yeah, so you know.
Well, we got
We'll put that in the books for after we solve all this other shit.
Awesome.
we got some thieving crew to infiltrate.
Yep. So onward to the slums.
Onward to the slums.
Okay. Yeah, you all are able to finish up your meals. And you leave the Happy Sea Dog Inn behind and set out towards the slums, which is a little bit of shorter trip now that you're in Keel Hall Heights as opposed to Midtown Cross. What's the marching order as you guys are making your way over there?
I assume I'm first because I know where I'm going.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably going to be towards the back just to keep an eye out for people who are giving information.
Okay.
Who would like to be towards the back, I guess, second from last?
Sure.
Not to come hang out with me.
Raina will be in the middle so she can kind of try to keep all the group together.
Okay.
And it is.
All right.
I can imagine everyone starts to scatter and she just pulls her arms and grabs.
Gross and vines. Like, nope.
Like, what the hell?
Yeah, so you guys make your way through the streets of Keel Hall Heights and begin descending the like very steep incline that is the Heights district until you come to the connecting avenue right on the outskirts of the Boatleg Market district. And then you head right off towards the estates and begin making your way across the very familiar now gravel paths that lead around the side of the estates towards the slums, where you all had an encounter but a night or two ago. Everyone go ahead and roll a d10 for me.
I got a 5.
Ooh.
4.
Uh-oh, Floyd.
Nice. You all walk. Ruben, can I get a perception check from you?
Yeah, you can. Perception.
You notice that you're walking right through the portion of the path that is right where you had your little scuffle 2 nights ago. You can see the disturbed earth on either side of the road where the bodies had been buried. But there doesn't seem to be any type of unwanted attention that this area has gotten, and you all continue on your way.
Joel definitely wants to do a check as well.
Sure, yeah.
That's something Joel is actively thinking about.
Yeah, what is Shoal looking for as they're examining the scene?
To see if anybody has noticed that there are bodies buried and that there was a fight and everything like that. And that it was us.
Okay. Go ahead and make a perception check.
I want to reverse engineer detect.
24.
Well,
You take a moment to kind of actually go off the side of the road and check out the disturbed earth and things like that. It looks pretty pristine, almost identical to how you left it. The broken rope is actually still on the ground behind the tree where you had tied up the Brotherhood of the Keen Cutlass boss. And it doesn't seem like anything has been disturbed to the point where you think somebody would have noticed or think something suspicious went on here.
We will take the rope.
Okay.
Does Toraigh have a newspaper?
No, it doesn't have newspaper. It mostly has like criers, like people who go around and spread the word.
we all about it.
But no, there isn't like a printing press or anything of that nature.
Okay, I'm just thinking like maybe we should, if there was like a crime blotter, keep an eye on the Howard.
Tune into the Enforcer radio.
Yeah.
1024. We got a mysterious buried body here.
Well, the slums has a guy that writes the newspaper, but he can only churn out 5 of them, so there's only 5 newspapers.
That's right. They're really just letters to his 5 friends about what's been going on.
His 5 friends have been like, please, Richard, for the love of God, stop.
Dorothy got a fresh can of milk.
We don't care, Richard.
All right.
Okay. You all continue on, and you get to the part of the gravel path that kind of goes parallel to the stone wall that kind of sections off the slums from the rest of the city on the interior of the city's walls. And you can see ahead there is a kind of large crowded foot traffic going in and out of the rectangular gateway that leads into the slums district. And there are a couple of enforcers walking around at the entrance to the slums district. But they seem to just be kind of passively watching people go by. They're not stopping anybody or inspecting anybody. And you all begin to approach.
Joel is going to want to keep their eyes out to see if we are attracting attention.
Sure. Yeah, you could also
Specifically Joel.
if you could also roll a stealth check if you want to avoid attracting attention walking through the crowd. That's perfectly viable as well. So roll both perception and stealth.
Here's
Oh, we
stealth,
should do.
a 13.
Okay.
And perception, another 24.
Nice.
You should all just buy a pair of glasses because clearly that is the best way of hiding yourself in plain sight.
A pair of glasses over a cloth sack.
That's
And a baseball cap.
That's so funny. I can picture a meme of like Shoal with a cloth sack and glasses over, holding up, being like, "Is this hair of the dog?"
Massive fake mustache.
As you all begin to walk through the rectangular gates of the slums, Shoal, you get a pretty confident sense that you haven't drawn the attention of any of the 2 pairs of enforcers that are on either side. and you all walk through into the kind of expansive slum marketplace that is in the entrance to the slums district here. You wind your way through the crowded bazaar with, various carts of pretty lackluster wares being sold, and begin heading down the decline that heads towards Beggar's Bay, which is at the base of the slums here. As you walk through, you can see that there are definitely still just as many homeless and beggars as there were before, all just kind of seated, either sleeping or panhandling or something of that nature, on either side of the road. Walking down to the left, you still see there's the rows and rows of these small shanty type hovels that people are leaving to come to the marketplace here and to leave for work. 1 second here. Okay.
I don't like this.
Jake doesn't like this.
Shoal, you notice that somebody is stealing from Anna behind you, is reaching into their pouch.
We will turn around and try to grab them.
Okay. Yeah, so you turn around and you can see there is this very skinny toy doll with like a long brown beard and long kind of scraggly wavy brown hair. They're dressed essentially in rags, and they have their hand inside Anna's bag, and you grab them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, go ahead and make a athletics check.
5.
Oh, okay. They get a 5 as well. So what is your strength modifier?
Oh my goodness.
0.
Theirs is also 0.
Oh my god!
Okay.
If I notice this happening, can I also make a grab?
Yeah, I will let you take a reaction in just a second, but first we're going to resolve how this initial grab goes.
Yeah,
All
what's
right.
the tiebreaker now?
I'm just going to have us do rollies, and so go ahead and roll a d20, and I will roll a d20 as well.
Oh, what's a nat 20?
Okay. All right. Well, so it's not a nat 20 on the actual check itself, but a 20 definitely beats their 12. So you do manage to successfully. Are you grabbing like their wrist? Okay.
We'll say, hello. What are you doing?
And they look down and look at you, and they're like, "What's with you? What's with your face?" And they start kind of pulling and tugging.
What is with your face?
And they're like, "This is my face. This is how I look. Let go of me."
Why do you look like that? Why is your hand in Anna's bag? That is not your bag.
None of your business. And they're going to contest the check here. So go ahead and roll another athletics check.
Well, that's happening. Can I grab them by their shirt collar and goes, no, but it's my fucking business. So what the hell?
That one.
No.
On a nat 1, I'm going to say they pull away. They got a 4. They pull away, but Anna, I will allow you to make, because you are a grappler, I will allow you to make a grappling check as your attack of opportunity, let's say, as this doll tries to move back.
Since this is going on and it clearly sounds vocal, like that something's going down, I assume Raina and Ruben. And
yeah, you all can hear this.
We've stopped.
I'm doing an athletics check.
Yep.
Okay. 11.
Oh yeah, they got a 3. So yeah, you're able to grab onto them.
So I have them by the shirt collar and I've pulled them close.
Yeah.
I'm just like, care to explain?
And they're like, I'm sorry, miss. Please, mercy.
Did you get anything? Or was this the second go, or is that the first go?
He goes, no, I don't have anything. Look. And he puts up his hands.
Can I insight check him?
Sure.
It's probably not gonna give me anything good. All right, that's not Terra. 7.
7.
A hard read on this guy. He's very panicked.
I'm still, while holding him, I'm just gonna check my own bag.
Okay.
While that's happening, Ruben runs up with the sword to his face and he says, "You better be real sure, buddy."
He shoots, his arms shoot up into the sky, and he's like, I swear, I'm sure. Make an investigation check, Anna.
Oof.
Your bag's pretty cluttered and you don't organize it very well, and you're not able to, in like the few seconds you're looking, verify 100% that everything's there, but everything looks like it's where it should be.
Raina would like to pull out 2 gold pieces.
Don't give the damn man money. He tried to steal from me.
Well, if he would have just asked politely,
I wouldn't have given him anything.
I would have.
Wait, so now you are rewarding him for stealing.
Yeah, you're rewarding bad behavior. You really
The doll
want to do
looks-
that?
You're rewarding bad stealing.
So confused as there's a sword to his throat and there's gold in front of him, and he's still being held, and he's like, please, I don't want it, just let me go.
Raina's going to attempt to push away the sword and have Anna drop him.
No.
Okay, well, she's just going to stick the 2 gold in his pocket and go, it's all right. I understand there's a lot of desperation here, and we probably look like easy pickings, and now you know we're not, but I hope you do take care of yourself. Be more careful next time. Maybe don't steal.
And he looks at you for a second and then just starts crying. Thank you, miss. Thank you. I'm just so hungry. Thank you. I'm so sorry. I won't do it ever again.
Yeah, and you let your friends know. I'm not easy pickings, and worse things will happen if it happens again.
You got it. Not easy pickings.
I will let him go.
Before he leaves,
Uh,
Shoal is going to also take pity and give one of the Chasseldani crystals.
okay.
How is that?
Yeah, I believe that's worth 10 gold pieces. So,
You blepping?
Told him no.
uh,
We want you to look at this. We don't want you to sell it. This is yours.
okay.
Today, your life is changing.
Okay.
And if we need help, will you help us?
Of course. Yes. What help do you need?
We don't know, but you are a thief. And we are thieves too. But we both suck.
Okay. Okay. If you need thieving done, you got it.
What is your name?
I'm Bernard. Bernard Watton.
Bernard Watt. Well, you can call us Johnson. We will start pointing at everybody. Johnson, 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 and Johnson.
You got it,
Like,
Mrs. and Mrs. Johnson. Thank you so much. And he grabs the gem and kind of stumbles back, being let go from the grapple, and runs off down one of the alleyways.
We like him.
I'll ask for 2 of you to make a perception check. Whichever 2 would like.
I would like to perceive.
Not
Can't
20.
believe shit. So
I'm
Jeez.
rolling like garbage today.
Joel, you notice the eyes of every single person in this roadway are on your group right now,
Oops.
looking at what is possibly the most amount of coin that has ever been openly flourished on this street. And they are all unblinkingly just every peasant and every beggar on the street and every passerby. Many of them have stopped walking and are just kind of standing like.
How many are there?
How about
Like,
that?
yeah, it would probably be somewhere between like 17 and 27.
All of you, please come here.
I left 40 gold in the slums last time, and these people saw none of it.
You made a stealth check to do it without
Yeah.
disturbing anybody.
I know, but I'm saying they should have gold. A little, maybe. Not long ago.
The slums are flooded with the 40 golds.
They'll never need gold again.
As you say, come here, many of the, particularly
Got
like the
10%
seated homeless and panhandlers get up and begin walking towards you, Shoal.
We are the
Alma is
skeleton
removing
crew.
herself from the situation.
Oh boy.
So is Flynn.
All right, you two make stealth checks to ghost. And Shoal, continue. You say, we are the skeleton crew.
We are the
22.
skeleton crew.
The natural one.
You can call us Johnson, her Johnson, him
I'm gone.
Johnson, and
I'm
him
gone.
Johnson.
You don't see me. I'm gone.
Yeah, Shoal points to nothing when saying her.
Yeah. We
And like, oh god.
we are trying to make a change. We help, but we also need help. So if we need you, will you come and help us?
Make a
I'm not giving
persuasion
anything
check.
to these people.
And as you're making that speech, Flynn, you go to take a step back and you trip backwards and fall into a puddle.
18 minus
Sounds
2,
about right.
16.
Yeah, you see like about 60% of those in the streets. You see some of them walk off, kind of like, this person's off their rocker. I can't see their face. But about 60% of them are like, yeah,
How many
we can
people
help.
are left?
I would say like 20.
Raina will hand out 1 gold to each.
You just stole Shoal's thunder.
We're doing it together.
Okay.
This is a joint. This is a joint
We-
venture.
We will take off our cloth sack. Say, do not forget. We are here.
All of the peasants and beggars begin to pick up their coin and they start running off. You see them running to other people further down the street and telling them about it, pointing back in your direction.
Ooh.
And more people are starting to now run towards you all. And it looks like a small crowd is about to gather here, anticipating additional coin.
Well,
You hear Toy Knight comes running up the street in the direction you guys were headed, being like, "Hey, do you need some help? I can help. What do you need help with?" Yeah. And a few more coming down the street behind you guys.
how would you like to make a distraction?
Oh, he's
Sure.
coming.
Yeah, I can do that.
Raina will
For
flip
coin.
him 1 piece of gold and say, "Do it."
He's like, "What do you need me to
distract.
I don't know, but we got somewhere to be. So
do?"
improvise.
All right, I'm gonna have them make.
Sorry.
I'm gonna
Faye.
use to ask the commoner to improvise. So I'm gonna have them make an insight check about how good they actually know how to help.
Just a little dance.
They got a 2.
Okay.
So they just yell, "Guys, a song!" And they start singing. "Got a whale of a tale to tell you lads, whale of a tale or two, about that tail fish and the girls I've loved on nights like this with the moon above, whale of a tale and it's all true, I swear by my tattoo." And people just kind of walk past them and don't pay them any mind.
Raina's gonna do a little dance and start to walk away.
Everyone make a stealth check.
Okay.
Oh,
Do I have to make another one? I'm
Oh
gone.
no.
Shoal wants to
No,
talk.
Anna, you do not have to make another stealth
Great.
check.
My rolls, man. All of my rolls.
I got a 18 or no, a 21.
All right. The
Which-
rest of you, except for Shoal, are able to begin moseying on further down this roadway, which is essentially just a slope of mud, walking down towards Beggar's Bay. Shoal, you are not attempting to disguise yourself or try to
Oh, yeah.
elude being perceived.
We want to address the crowd.
Okay.
Has anyone seen or know anything about us besides the fact that we are out of season?
Do you know the Muffin Man?
So it becomes an incoherent rabble as about 30 now people all raise their hands and are like, I know, yeah, let me tell you what I've heard. And they all start swarming you, Shoal.
Are we able to keep up
Are you able to keep up with who?
with all the voices?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty indecipherable what they're saying. You can easily start talking to like the 5 or 6 people closest to you, for sure.
Can we listen to more than one person at once?
Sure, make a perception check.
I'm assuming
Having
Shoal has a lot of
multiple
ears.
ears.
Yeah.
Yeah. 20.
All right, yeah. Yeah, with a 20, you are hearing all different types of things. You are hearing that there's an old lady who grows your eggs down the street. You're hearing that there is fish that give birth to you in the ocean, and that's how you come here. And you're hearing that there is a whole farm of fish bait being raised off to the east, and all this type of nonsense. It's difficult to make out who is telling the truth, but everybody has a hand outstretched for coin.
We will let you know that we come from the ground.
One guy in the back's like, I said the ground, I said it, I said it, and he puts his hand out.
We will need your help at some point. Not today, but we want to let you know, friends, that if we help you, we would like your help back. We will throw a handful of gold
Okay, how much
up in
gold?
the air. How many people are around?
Like 30? It's ever growing now. People are running from all directions.
A handful. A handful.
I
guess
need
let's
you to,
roll
tell me how much you're reducing from your
one.
inventory. You just roll 1 gold? Oh no!
Let the dice tell the story.
Okay.
We roll.
We'll roll to another one. 16 gold.
Okay.
We threw 16 gold up in the
Okay.
air, and we want to use that as our distraction.
Sure, and it certainly is, as everybody dives into the mud now, and it just becomes this kind of pigsty of writhing forms in the mud as people wrestle each other for the gold on the ground. And for a moment there, nobody's paying attention to you, and you're able to get away and catch up with the rest of the group. And you all continue walking down the street.
Mess.
Well, that was interesting.
Remember when we were told to like not draw attention to ourselves?
Who said that?
Theo.
Well, she meant from the enforcers, though, right?
Yeah, there's no way the enforcers would ever hear about the giant flash mob in the middle of the slums where people were throwing gold into the streets.
It was only 30 people. It'll be fine.
We hope they tell more people, though.
Anyway, Veo?
A little more time passes, and you arrive down at kind of the flat area of ground that makes up the shore right before Beggar's Bay. And you see Still Tide Plaza, which is still filled with like its park of dead willow trees in the center, and kind of a large homeless encampment there. But on the opposite side of the plaza, you can see the large Still Tide Ale House, which is right on the shore there.
We'll going to put the cloth back on.
Okay. You all are able to head inside. You walk inside the Still Tide Ale House, and it's still only about 9 in the morning at this point, so it's fairly empty. You can see in the back corner to the right of the bar, there's one square table that has like 3 figures that look like they're passed out on the table and are kind of asleep there. And then there's another kind of circular table in the right side front corner that has a few individuals that are just kind of talking quietly and nursing some tankards. And at a large table in kind of the center of the room, you see the large thumb-like doll that you met before.
Deppy, was it?
No,
Or
so
something?
Giuseppe is the bartender.
Okay.
Yeah. This is the guy who was wearing
Left
like
out of the
a
hole.
leather armor
Mm.
and opened the trap door to let you guys in before. And he is sitting there with a large tankard of ale and in kind of mid sip as he sees you all come in, and he goes, well, look at this. Back already? All right, great. And he gets up and kind of walks forward with a big smile on his face and says, you all go take a seat. I'll just go get Veo.
So interesting that someone imagined Spy Kids merch in this world. Thumb.
Yeah.
Thumb. Yeah, and you all are kind of left by yourselves in the bar room, and you can see the door opens, and Giuseppe comes out, still kind of very fat, plump man with long, greasy black hair. And he begins cleaning the bar and looks up at you all and just kind of gives you a glance and then looks back down. And
Is there
keeps
anyone
cleaning.
in here?
Yeah, so there's like 7 people in here.
Is Freya in here?
Make a perception check.
Of course I have to do that. Because God forbid I just notice a friend. 7.
You were robbed.
I always am.
No, you do not notice Freya in here.
Is that because I didn't roll high enough, or she's really not there?
She's not there. If you had rolled high enough, you would have noticed something else potentially, but
just always assume that I'll never roll high enough.
Okay.
So I'll never learn anything.
I'll just tell you no all the time.
Yep.
Yeah, do you all take a seat?
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. Okay.
Drumming the fingers on the table, waiting for Veo to show up.
Yeah, and it is quite some time. Probably close to about like a half hour. Before the doors open again, and the thumb comes back in, and he says, "Oh, still here. Perfect. She's coming. And he goes up to the bar and takes a seat there with his tankard of ale and keeps drinking.
Can I insight check him? Because it feels like we were unexpected.
This is a power move on Veo's part. She's making us wait.
That talks like Beetlejuice.
So what exactly you're looking to get from this insight check?
Well, he said he seemed surprised to see us in the first place, and then just now he said, "Oh, you're still here," and so that's weird. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm reading too much.
No, that's fine.
That's suspicious.
Yeah.
You get the impression that this guy's just a little bit of a goof.
Okay. Cool.
And that he probably wasn't expecting you all to come in the morning. Not that it's an issue that you came in the morning, but you know, they left an open window for today. And
well, if they didn't want us to come in the morning, they shouldn't have done that.
I mean, he was there to receive you, so.
You guys are arguing about the characters.
And about another 10-15 minutes pass before the door opens, and a familiar, tall, lithe, black cat Stuffkin walks in, still with kind of the bandana on her head, with that pink scar across her left eye. And she smiles as she walks over to you all and says, well, it seems everyone got home safely the other night. And takes a seat.
You could say that.
Can I insight check that?
Sure.
Yeah, that's suspicious.
Oh,
Oh,
that was brutal.
Do you know what sucks about this program? That it doesn't register when dice are cocked, because that was clearly cocked.
I don't know, because like, if you think about it, are they even really doing physics to calculate the dice roll, or are they just representing it with a roll, but
Yeah,
they really
guys,
always knew it was an
Probably
8?
that.
Random is a script, and
Yeah.
it's it already knows what it's gonna do when you click.
Then don't
run
give me the
script.
visual. Don't give me the visual.
I do
I
think
don't want it. I'd rather you just give me the numbers, because that was a cocked dice, and I don't believe it should have been counted.
I think it would be a cool quality of life feature if anytime it was cocked in the 3D representation, it re-rolled for you. But
Yeah.
yeah, no, you got robbed for sure. Yeah, on an 8, this is hard to read cat. And yeah, it seems like, she could just be referring to the fact that you guys are wanted and made it 2 more nights.
You know what? I would
So-
also like to insight check her. I don't trust
Okay.
her. I don't trust her further than I could throw her.
Okay.
Well, while you're eyeballing her, I'm gonna say it's really funny you say that.
I got a 13.
Yeah, on a 13, it seems like she's in the know that you guys are in danger. I was just referring to the fact that you guys were out late and are wanted people.
What was the name of the gang again?
Keen
Oh.
Cutlass.
Oh, I just realized it's purely coincidental because they really did. Like, it's very clear why they attacked us.
No, I know, but like, hang on.
Do you know the Keen Cutlass, Veo?
The Keen Cutlass. Not familiar to me. They must not be one of the big players. Brannick, and she looks over to the thumb-looking guy. And he says, yeah, I think they're like a low-level gang. And she goes, oh, well, there you have it. I haven't had any dealings with them.
Mm.
Probably won't in the future. It seems like we kind of scared him off a bit.
Did you? Interesting.
Yeah, we had a bit of a run-in on our way home the other night, but we got home safe, but they sure didn't.
Brannick goes and gives like a hearty chuckle at that.
Weird, dude.
And Veo says, well, I'm glad you made it safe. All right, well, are you ready for your next job? I have a prime contract for you. One of the best paying jobs you could ask for.
What's it pay?
Well, it should pay about 250 gold each, if you can do the job right.
Should?
If we
Well,
can do the job right.
You have to do the job right.
What's the job?
Do you follow politics at all?
Nope.
I heard there was a some kind of opportunity for the pirates moving through the politicking side of things, but that's about it.
Well, I'm quite impressed. There is quite such a thing running through the city assembly right now. Toraigh seems like a pretty lawless place to most, but as far as the rich and powerful are concerned, it's quite a lawful colony. The city's laws are written and enacted by a council of elected officials, mostly rich nobles, called the House Assembly. On Monday, the House Assembly will be voting on a bill that goes directly against the guild's interests. They are calling it the Privateering Act. Our sources tell us that the House is almost entirely split on this motion, and there's basically only one deciding vote. A toy soldier, noble, by the name of Lord Cornelius Must. He's the head of a very old noble family. I'll put his name in here.
Yeah, it sounds pretentious as fuck. He sounds musty, if you will.
Indeed. The Musts have the fourth largest estate on the clifftop and own a very reliable trading company called Must Mercantile.
Oh, good for them.
Word on the street is that Cornelius was on the fence for a while, but has decided to throw hundreds more toys into poverty and ruin this city just to make a quick profit. I told the other members that the Skeleton Crew is the perfect team to help us change his mind. How does that sound?
What exactly is the ruling that the Privateering Act is coming out with? Like, what are the what the fuck is the word I'm looking
How
for?
is this against your interests?
Well, it's pretty simple. The Privateering Act would effectively legalize piracy, so long as that piracy is enacted against the Fomorians. And what it would do is allow the Golden Grin to become de facto privateers for the city of Toraigh.
But isn't the Golden Grin a mixed group?
Well, the Golden Grin are primarily Fomorians, but currently they have
The
to.
Mongers are the mixed group.
Yeah, the
But-
Mongers are the mixed group.
Wait, but if it's piracy against Fomorians, but a group of Fomorians would commit it against their own?
Well, the Fomorians in the Golden Grin have always been committing acts of piracy against toys and Fomorians alike. You know, there's no true allegiance to kind when it comes to pirates of their
Wait.
nature.
This is DM question.
Mhm.
She's saying that the Privateering Act would be enacted only for Fomorians?
It would be enacted for the Golden Grin, in particular, the Pirate Guild of Toraigh, which is primarily Fomorians. But she would go on to tell you that essentially what it means is while us toys are here doing all of the smuggling for the city, and the Fomorians and the Golden Grin are permitted to do a little smuggling and have a kind of gray market, if you will, once it becomes all official, they won't be inspected in the same way that any other import would be. And it would essentially legalize their activities. Currently, the way the pirates have to do things is that if they ever come across any contraband illegally, they have to hide it and they have to fake that it has been properly acquired. But once privateering has been legalized against the Fomorians, anything they can say they have rightfully claimed through ransacking Fomorian shipments, they can import into the city of Toraigh without so much as a investigation by the enforcers.
I guess I'm just lost on the fact that she keeps saying that it's enacted against the Fomorians, because that sounds like it would be like Fomorians wouldn't be able to. That's why I'm confused.
So it allows it essentially pirates in the city of Toraigh are already committing piracy against Fomorian shipments, against toy shipments all across the ocean. But when they come to the city of Toraigh, they have to fake that they acquired these goods legitimately and undergo inspection at the docks in order to be able to import these goods. Once the pirates have been formally made privateers of the city, then they can claim that any of these goods have been claimed rightfully through pillaging Fomorian shipments, and there would be a lot less critical examination of what they're bringing into the city, which would profit the Golden Grin and make it much more difficult for toys to prosper, is her point.
For toy criminals to prosper.
Yes.
But the Privateering Act is basically kind of punishing Fomorians for being stolen from.
It's the Fomorian part's like a red herring.
Yeah.
To get it past the council.
Yeah, but it's as opposed to it being enacted against toy ships that are being.
Well, right. Well, because Toraigh is technically a toy city and they would not permit piracy against a toy ship. But there are, like, for example, there are toy mercantile operations, merchants that would not be able to benefit from this because they are not part of the Golden Grin.
Gotcha.
Aren't you racist?
She kind of chuckles a little bit and looks down at herself, and she's like, explain to me what you think you mean by that.
Well, this sounds like they will be able to pirate Fomorians. You don't like Fomorians.
Yes, but you see, they already pirate from Fomorians aplenty, just they have to do their due diligence in smuggling it into the city, which allows us to do our fair share in smuggling that which they cannot. And those benefits go directly to the toys of this city, as opposed to the Golden Grin.
So you don't like that it's like legalizing crime for pirates, but not for you thieves. Yeah.
Well, we're good enough at our jobs that we don't need it legalized, but we figure, why should they have it legalized too?
Are you good enough? Because somebody tried to steal from us before. They suck. They were worse than us. And we work for you. What does that say about you?
If you were robbed from, it was not from anybody from the guild, or you wouldn't know.
It was a toy.
Not all toys are in the guild. Only the good ones.
She's not saying it out loud, but the fact that she was like, oh yeah, if you were stolen, like if you had stuff stolen, like you wouldn't know. I'm like, bitch, I knew when the fucking little kids stole from us. What the hell are you talking about? I fucking know. You think you're so high and mighty? I hate this bitch. Fucking worst.
Ruben's gonna cut Shoal off and be like,
I can't wait to burn everything to the ground.
all right, what do you need us next then? What's our first move?
Well, everyone who knows Lord Must knows that his family consists of his wife and daughter and a peculiar wolven ward of his that he took into his home when they were just a teen. They're grown now, but they still live at Must Manor. Your job is simple. You're to sneak into Must Estate, kill the wolven ward, and leave behind this someplace obvious. And she hands a piece of paper, which reads, and I'll paste it in here as well.
Can I do a history check for wolvens?
Sure.
Can I ask what the wolven's name is?
Cool. I'm terrible. I don't know anything about wolvens yet.
The note says, vote no on the Privateering Act or your family is next. And there is a skull and crossbones, like, stamped next to it.
What's the name of this ward?
I don't know if I got that information. Brannick, do you know the name of the wolven ward? And Brannick kind of stops, chokes on like a mid-swill, and he's like, I think it was like Adelaine or something. Maybe Adelaine?
Is it the boy, girl?
I believe it's a female wolven.
Huh.
And she looks at Brannick, and Brannick kind of nods.
What does this have to do with thieving?
Well, Thieves Guild is a little bit of a misnomer. We do quite a lot more than thieving. We do thieving, smuggling, fencing, assassinations, thuggery. We try to cover all the angles.
Thuggery.
What'd you say?
You do construction?
No, not construction. Well, I guess technically we're doing a little construction, and she points underneath the floor.
Whoa. We heard fencing. We thought you were building pastures.
Someone will explain it to you, I'm sure.
We don't like this job.
She looks kind of confused, and she's like, I was under the impression that you were here to make coin. This is the highest paying job I could find.
We're quite professional. Well, don't worry. It takes convincing. We'll take that upon ourselves.
Well, if you are able to successfully eliminate the ward, and leave the note behind someplace obvious. There's 250 gold in it for each of you. And I believe we have... Oh, I don't have it. Brannick, do you have the note? And Brannick comes over and unfurls this kind of crumpled piece of parchment. And she says, someone from the guild took the liberty of befriending one of the guards, was able to get a little diagram put together of what it is you might be expecting when you arrive at the manor. And she would reveal this poorly drawn map.
Oh, I'm so excited to see this.
Whoa.
I know it hasn't
Question
loaded yet,
mark.
but it's just funny that it's a question mark.
Oh, that's actually not a poorly drawn map at all.
When I used to have to 3D model floor plans for a living, a lot of times clients would hand me something like this. I can read this perfectly.
Yeah, so she kind of spreads this out on the table in front of you all. It's my understanding that the ward's bedroom is located where that X is scrawled.
All right.
Seems
Nice
easy enough.
and isolated. That's convenient.
Yeah.
Very well. So any other questions?
Do we have to kill him? Her?
Well, of course. You have to show that you mean business.
No, thank you.
I only see an entrance in the front. Does this mean there is no window? I don't see any windows. How are we supposed to get in here? Do we have to go through the front door?
I'm led to believe that this is a fairly rough diagram, and I think there are a lot more windows and doors than are indicated here.
Rich people love windows.
That is true. That is true.
Meme that. Rich people love windows.
Merch
Okay.
that just says rich people like windows.
Well, the vote is on Monday, so you have 2 nights to get the job done. Do you think you can do it?
No.
I think we'll manage.
She puts her hand on the diagram and pulls it back, and she goes, I'm going to ask seriously here. Are you certain you can do this?
I feel like this is, and while I appreciate the confidence you have in us, this is if this doesn't go well, this affects your guild for years to come. This is only our second job for you. I feel like this is a little sudden.
Yes, and to be clear, there's no doubt that there are other members of the guild who could get this done much more efficiently. But your mixed company gives us some highly desirable, plausible deniability here. And I was able to persuade those in the guild that it was worth taking the risk.
I'm pretty sure he meant because if it goes badly, the Privateering Act goes through. Not that because we are mixed, that we would be great scapegoats.
Well,
But
we
good
have
to know where your priorities lie.
we have other options should it fall through in a contingency, but we'd like to not have to go there if we can avoid it. And you'd be helping us do that.
What is the contingency?
Well, if it's a contract available for you all, I will let you know.
We do not wish to kill. We will kill if we are threatened, but we are not assassins.
All right,
We
well
are
then,
not an assassin.
perhaps the 4 of you then? I can increase the gold.
Raina will turn to Shoal and put a hand on them and say, we'll figure out a way to make this work, and kind of try to give him a reassuring nod.
I'm going to ask you to make a deception check here.
I'm just telling Shoal it'll be okay.
And it won't.
Oh,
I rolled a 14.
That's not terrible.
Yeah, on a 14, it doesn't seem to phase or alarm Veo in any particular fashion. And she says, "Very well. Well, I'm excited to see what you all can do."
All right. Is this good to go? Anything else?
Nope, nothing else. You can come here to the Still Tide Ale House when you've completed the job. Once we know it's done, we'll get your pay.
Can we talk about this first as a group?
Under the table, Anna's
Mhm.
gonna tap his approximate foot, or their approximate foot.
Okay.
Kind of nudge him and be like, "Stop."
She just kind of looks quickly at the rest of the group and says, "I'm going to take my leave, but if you have any last-minute concerns, you can always contact Brannick here." And hops up and begins to walk off. And leaves you to it in the alehouse.
Anna's getting up and leaving.
Why?
Joel's following.
Job's done. Or we got our job. I'm going.
Okay. I guess. Do we all want to leave?
Well,
I guess
to
we ain't got
maintain
no reason to.
professionalism, I will reach for a handshake.
With
Veo's
Veo?
gone.
He's already.
Oh, my
No,
bad.
that's what I mean.
Yeah.
No, like she got up and left, so Anna is also getting up and leaving.
Yeah.
Well,
All right. Well,
I'll
don't you
follow.
want to talk about this?
Not here.
that makes sense. Let's find somewhere more private and away from Veo's friends. But I have some thoughts on this one.
Okay. Yeah, you all are able to head back out into Stilltide Square. And are you looking to leave the slums entirely, or just looking to find another place to settle?
Anna will not be speaking about this in any place that's near Veo or where Veo can hear.
That makes sense.
Okay. So where are you headed?
Follow on. Blindly.
You're just leaving the area.
Okay. It takes a little while for you to head back up the hill to the square, the marketplace right outside the gate. But you are able to walk through the gates. You are not stopped or disturbed by anyone. And you head back down the path around the estates and back to Keelhall Heights. And you all can get
wherever.
Go ahead and roll a d10 for me as you're just traversing across the city.
7.
7.
Okay. Yeah, and you all are able to make it just fine to the Happy Sea Dog Inn. And that is where we are going to take our break. And we will come back afterwards for you all to have a discussion here. All right. We're going to take a quick 15-minute break. I believe we are doing a giveaway, right? Dice box this week. So we're going to be posting a form in the chat. Go ahead and fill that out if you would like to receive a dice box as a prize, and we will be announcing the winner when we get back from the break. See you then. And welcome back. Before we get started, congratulations to Hardscrabble McCormick for winning our giveaway. Keep an eye out in your email for instructions on how to get your hands on your prize. And let's get back to it. So the party is walking through the doors of the Happy Sea Dog Inn, presumably to grab a seat somewhere. At this point, it's about 11 in the morning. So there's still not a ton of patrons in the establishment. And there are plenty of large circular tables available for you all to sit at.
Cool. I guess Anna's gonna find the one that is the kind of sequestered off to the side.
Okay. Yeah, you find the table that's kind of the furthest away from all other potentially prying ears, and are able to take a seat.
I have to say that every single time that we've gone into a tavern to talk about something somewhat secretive, I always specifically think of that part in Harry Potter where they made the foolish decision to go into the less crowded pub.
Yeah.
Hogshead. They go to the Hogshead instead of going to their usual spot.
Mm-hmm.
And so they get heard by everyone. And every time we go to think, I'm like, we need someplace that's more crowded where less people are going to be able to hear us. Every single time I think about that, I'm just like, someone's going to be able to hear us. It's going to be like the whole Dumbledore's army situation.
Well, you'd be pretty hard pressed to find a crowded bar at 11 in the morning, but
Yeah.
here we are.
I'll follow and sit with Anna.
So will we.
So yeah, you all just walked wordlessly for a solid hour.
I mean, there could have been talking, but
yeah, but I feel like we should have made the understanding. I guess in my head, I was like, we can talk about the plan to execute this properly without really talking about our preoccupations. But yeah. But I guess we're all on the same understanding that we're being secretive.
I think Flynn's really in his head, kind of trying to think through all the options on his way back. But yeah.
I'm not going to kill that Wolven. I'm not going to do it. If that's the plan, I'm not doing it.
Yeah, our work really went from 0 to 10 real quick.
It's not that I'm opposed to killing people, because I'm not. What I'm opposed to is a racist telling me that I need to kill someone to better her cause. I'm not fucking doing it.
Well, I mean, for one thing, I think we might want to try to run this by Rochester and see what is in the best interest of the enforcers. But for another thing, this vote is on Monday. We just could make it look like we killed her and stash her somewhere until the vote is over.
I mean, the mission is to appear and wait for any possible. Sorry, you were talking.
No, go.
I lost everything I was saying. Go ahead, talk.
I was just going to say that, that would be a best case scenario, and I would love for that to happen. But unfortunately, given our track record,
we'd end up killing a lot. What if
we try to stash her somewhere, she gets found out, she gets killed anyway, and it was all for naught.
We could go take this information to the pirates and use it as leverage to join them.
I bet they'd like to blend into a gang and wait for a possible word of suspicion. So I think we're doing a horrible job blending in because we're showing resistance. I don't think they trust us really. And now we've landed ourselves with this horrible mission. And next time, maybe just go with the flow and just say yes, and then we'll figure it out later.
But we don't want to kill anyone, especially someone that's not related.
We don't necessarily have to kill anyone. Raina's got the right idea. Maybe we could figure out a way to fake it.
But Theo said we had to.
Yeah, but we don't trust her.
What we say to Veo is that we will do it, and then we'll figure it out.
Well, what if she finds out?
Well, then we'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
What do bridges have to do with this?
Idioms with you. It just means we'll do the thing when the time comes. Okay?
Oh. Okay.
I mean, Ruben, do you know if there's a way that Rochester wants this to go or not to go? Or the enforcers that aren't corrupt?
I feel like an attempted assassination plan on what sounds like a high-ranking member of the
I mean, I know that
political scape is that kind of information Rochester wanted us to get by infiltrating these groups. So yeah, I agree with Raina. Like, I think this is that.
Oh, we just got raided.
Ooh.
I'm not saying don't tell Rochester. That's not what I'm saying.
That wasn't to counter your point. I'm just saying I
Yeah.
think that is the next move. I was just agreeing with Raina.
We gotta tell him. Because, I mean, maybe he doesn't want this privateering act to pass either, and there's some good reason, but there's a better way to go about it. And we do know, we now know we want to get in with the pirates because we got to figure out what happened to Flynn's family. So if we don't want to do this for Veo, this would be an excellent chance to just double cross them and go be with the pirates.
I also have a suspicion that this is kind of a mission set to not indoctrinate us, but give Veo something over us to kind of force our commitment to her.
Yeah.
Personally, I do not like being under this woman's thumb.
She's tricking us.
I don't necessarily love the Greybloods, but unfortunately, that was what we had gone with.
Well, I mean, that was the point, right? That we're trying to bring down groups that we don't like. Well, let's write up a message to Rochester and leave it at that armory.
Dusty. Dusty?
We are so rude to this poor man.
Kenver looks up at the bar and is like, "Yes, are you talking to me?"
Yes, Kenver Dusty. Dusty Kenver.
It's Kenver Colenso.
Dusty Kenver Colenso. Yes.
It's like Dusty is the title.
Adjective.
What? How often do the pirates parade?
Daily.
You mean for the long haul?
For the long haul, yes.
Yes, it's usually once a morning.
What time?
I don't really know. I think it depends on the size of the shipments they have coming in, things like that. Usually around like 8 a.m., 9 a.m.
That's so early.
Well, they're up at the crack of dawn loading.
The Lord Must is a toy?
Are you asking me or are you asking Kenver Colenso?
I'm asking you.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yes, a toy soldier is what Veo said.
That just happened to take the goodness of their heart and take a Formorian in. Okay.
I mean, not everybody.
No, I know.
Cares. Yeah.
Interesting that she would threaten someone who was nice to Fomorians.
She's an ugly lady, and I don't mean in her appearance.
Inside and out. She's gonna age like spoiled milk.
Raina's gonna turn to New Dusty and say, "Do you have any opinions on this privateering act thing that's happening?"
I I don't know much about it. I don't pay too much attention to politics. Most of my wares that I get and goods I get from local toy vendors and terrestrial trade. Not too much of a pirate trader myself.
Well, I think you probably wouldn't like it then, I guess. But okay.
I mean, hopefully it'll make the gregarious grog cheap. That'll be one upside.
Well, at least there's one upside. Yeah. Well, you think we could get a message into Rochester today if we leave now?
Job sucks. This person sucks. This city sucks.
Yeah, but
While we're here.
What were you saying, Jay?
Approaching Rochester, like on our terms, isn't really possible.
We can leave a message, though, right?
You could leave a message, and also with your group patron now, you would know that you could probably find an agent of Rochester's at the safe house in Keel Hall Heights if you were looking to communicate a message more urgently. So you could always take that route if you were interested.
Instead of going to the armory, we could just go to the safe house that's here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I mean, we even have some proof. We have the note.
We do.
Yeah. We have a map of the estate. So yeah, just write our own note, seal it in an envelope, put it to an agent, and then go about our own business, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's the way to go, because either he's going to say, nah, go for it. These guys are awful and we want to have this thing pass, or not, or whatever. Or he's going to say, don't assassinate this lady and we'll save the day.
I mean, even if Rochester said to assassinate the lady, I'm not going to fucking do it. I'm just letting you know it's not going to happen.
We are not going to do it as well.
We don't know anything about
Hold
her,
hands
though.
in solidarity.
What if she's all corrupt and stuff too?
Oh, all right. Sure. Great.
So,
we'll hold
Joel
hands.
is very eager.
I mean, she doesn't actually do that.
Solidarity.
No, you're holding hands now.
We're holding hands. Just like this, we're holding our own hands.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean,
Unless you want to hold hands.
I gave you the dolls. That's about as much friendship as I'm gonna do right now. Not a touchy-feely person.
Emily, you were saying something?
Oh, I was just pointing out maybe this woman is real corrupt and terrible too. We don't know anything yet. Maybe she's worse than Veo.
She's a ward.
I don't know. I don't know anything about these political families here.
Yeah, but it's like she's like brought in by the goodness of their hearts to like basically be a showpiece, to be like, oh look, we took in this poor unfortunate person.
I feel like you're making a lot of assumptions. This could be a secret family assassin or something.
Oh, I'm the one that's making like outrageous assumptions because I'm going off of what the history of wards is, and you're going off of, well, maybe they're an assassin.
I'm just saying we don't know anything.
So,
well, either way, I don't have
go
proof
ask.
that they're an assassin, so I'm not going to assassinate someone.
Well, let's find out.
Lynn brings up a good point. Should we do recon? Investigations?
Yeah.
You have a few days.
Ruben, do you know anything about any of these people?
Do you know anything?
Do you know anything?
Honestly, this whole time I felt like I probably should be checking if I know anything about any of these people.
Yeah.
Or is it history expert?
Fantasy Grounds just treats me like
This honestly would have been a high DC anyway. Politics in Tory is something that really only the rich and powerful pay attention to, and everyone else disregards because they feel like it wouldn't really infect their lives.
Can you feed me the gossipiest, like most bullshit, like conspiracies to like just? I just want to
feel better about your role.
Yeah.
Yeah, you hear that the entire House Assembly is all lizard people, and
lizard stuffins.
Yes, the rare, almost non-existent lizard stuffkin.
Would have a lizard stuffkin.
Honestly, guys, politics. I don't trust any of them. They're all reptilian stuffkins. I don't like any of it. I have no problem going in there and just killing one of them. You know, I don't even.
He sounds even more like a boomer than usual. Everyone, quick, delete his Facebook page. He's spreading QAnon.
Well, where can we get more information about all this?
From the information store.
That's basically where you went yesterday.
Yeah, where did we get it?
You don't know that.
I know, I'm just saying. Is there like a place where you can go to learn about this stuff? Or get some political...
I'm sure there must be like a public library somewhere that would have like newspaper.
But there is no newspaper.
There's no newspaper. I don't know.
So,
Some kind of historical text.
Ruben, you would probably know that like the best place to pick up political gossip would likely be at like a bar or restaurant in the city plaza, which is kind of in the center of the estates on the clifftop of Tory.
Wait, did you say bar? Did I hear you right? Did you say bar in the middle of the estates?
Or yeah, like a bar or restaurant, someplace where people are congregating and sharing stories and things like that would probably be the best place to hear gossip. If that's what you were looking to do.
We came here to gossip, and I'm sure they're gossiping near the estates. Why don't we go pick up this pub and bring it over there? Better yet, move to a pub over there, because clearly moving it. Yeah, I've had too much to drink already.
I have an idea.
I haven't had anything.
What if? I mean, we'd probably stick out if we sat with
Bloody Mary.
The fancy people, like the politicians themselves. But if we hung out where their servants hang out, I bet that's where we'd get some information.
Oh yeah, some servants really commiserate and telling off their bosses to each other. Absolutely. Okay, let's go.
So are you all headed to the safe house first, or are you headed to the bar first?
Probably.
Let's head to the safe house first.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
When I get a chance, if it ever makes sense, can I try to see if I can somehow get in contact with Manicotti? Manazi.
Manazi, yeah.
Manazi. Manicotti now.
Yeah, I think you would know that probably the only way you'd be able to get in touch with them is down at the docks.
Yeah, no, I figured, but just
yeah.
If ever
we're there.
I don't know, if we decide that we want to go to the pirates.
All right. So you all head out. And the safe house in Keel Hall Heights is actually not that far from the Happy Sea Dog. It's about 7 blocks away. Ruben leads you around the corner and down an alleyway to this kind of small building, pretty nondescript, but it has a small sign outside that says the Sleek Blossom. And you walk inside this kind of central door to the building, and there's a small like walking area in front of a countertop that has a bunch of flowers. And there's shelves behind the countertop with a series of flowers as well. The shelves are pretty bare. There's not a wide assortment of flowers. and there's nobody at the front counter, and you all are able to just open the countertop, walk through it, and walk through a door in the back, and that door in the back opens into what looks like kind of a small home. There's a small kind of kitchen area with a small set of table and a set of chairs, a little like fireplace with a seating area with like 3 roughly made wooden chairs, and then a staircase that looks like it goes above to the second floor over where the shop is. And seated at the table in like the kitchenette area is someone who would actually look familiar to all of you because you saw
Ronnie
them.
Bilger?
It's not Ronnie Bilger. It is a thin, bald-headed doll that was there the day that you all were given this assignment on day 1. Captain Alphonse Atlas.
What were the rules on that if we ran into other people that we like? Is there a rule about that?
What do you mean?
We're in the safe house.
We're in the safe house, so
Yeah.
Even so, okay.
And he was someone who was there when we were conscripted, so it's like, you know,
Yeah, and Ruben,
he of all people would be in the know.
Yeah, and Ruben, you've reported to Atlas for most of your time in the Enforcers. He was like the captain before you and Kelda Melton and Bedwick Plummer were promoted to captain. He is, you know him as like a master archer and scout. And he looks up he looks like he's reading a book or something, and he looks up and he says, "Oh, well, you arrived here rather quickly."
Well, I'd be happy to see us. How's it going?
He says, "Well, I once was the leader of the Enforcers, and now I sit here and mind this empty hovel. So it's not going great, but hopefully you have some good news for me."
I mean, it could be the first step in the right direction of the mission.
Or are you terribly in danger? Is that it? Because I would like to know that.
Well, I mean, if we don't do the thing that we were just told to by the Greybloods, we could be.
All right. So what's the situation?
We're getting involved in politics. We didn't ask for this, but we were given this ballot, and
Ballot note.
It's a note that's sort of a ballot. It says vote no. Okay, I guess it's not.
It's for Lord Must, because it's the threat, because we killed his word.
It's got a yes and a no box on it.
Okay.
You think I'm cute? Yes.
Yes or yes?
Okay, I didn't know if it seemed like you guys were going to finish this. Okay.
No. You are leader.
I was about to say that. You're the leader.
Everybody's so interested in foregoing the responsibilities of leader once the time comes.
Well, you guys started talking when I was talking. I don't know.
Go for it.
Jokes.
What is it exactly that you've been asked to do?
We've been asked to go to Lord Cornelius Must's house, give him a threatening note that basically says we don't want to pass the Privateering Act, and then kill someone, and we don't want to do it.
We have to do that in reverse order. We kill someone, and then we give him the note threatening him.
All right. Let's.
Oh, we just leave the note.
We're gonna kill Cornelius. We're gonna give him the note.
We're not killing Cornelius. No.
All right. Let me try this again. We're gonna give someone a note, and then tell Cornelius he better stop, or we're gonna kill his friend. Is this?
I think we're gonna kill
him for Alzheimer's.
The Greybloods want us to kill his ward and leave a note that says if he doesn't vote against the Privateering Act, that someone's gonna come kill his family, presumably the Greybloods. But I don't think they want the suspicion on them, or what she used some big words, plausible deniability.
Well, the plausible deniability is if we, a mixed group of toys and Fomorians, were to fuck up this job, then she could use plausible deniability that, oh, well, clearly we didn't do it because we're all toys.
Hmm.
So what we're trying to say is this is pretty serious. We feel like the Lord Rochester should know about it before we do anything.
Well, the Greybloods not being isn't very happy about the benefiting of the Golden Grin. That's not really news. But it would be good to get you embedded with the Greybloods a bit further. Have you thought about potentially exfiltrating this ward and faking their death?
Yeah, that's like all we've talked about.
But what was the point of this conversation? It seems like we're just having the conversation that we've already had, except
He
it's
doesn't
now
know
with someone
that.
higher up.
I don't
He's
know
just
that.
catching up.
Poor guy isn't in any of this.
Well,
Like the IT person who's like, "Did you turn it off and back on again?" Yes, that's the first fucking thing I try.
A lot of people don't.
All right, well,
How
we don't
would
know
we
what
figure
that is.
how do we do that?
That's a good question. I think, probably spilling of blood, maybe make it look like there was a scuffle. Make sure that however you leave the establishment, you leave a space wide enough to transport a body through and try and imply that the body was taken.
I think we should
We
see
have
another
an
card.
idea.
I've been thinking of a good old-fashioned kidnapping.
What is your idea, Shoal?
Oh, sorry, Shoal.
We think a kidnapping could be better. We do know where there are 2 bodies, and we could consume them and leave a skeleton.
Do you know if these bodies are of the same type as the ward?
Absolutely not.
Mm.
We
Well-
do know a graveyard as well.
We could just leave some blood.
Talk to Job, the graveyard man. Do you have any Wolvins that have died recently? Of the female persuasion?
It's just leave blood. We cut our hand, do a little one of these, leave some, spray it around, make it look authentic.
I can certainly bring this information to the lieutenant commander, but I have to imagine that his reaction would be similar to mine. I don't think that. Obviously, we certainly wouldn't want you to go ahead with killing this ward, but there's no real knowledge to be gained in thwarting the plot to change this vote. But there's tremendous knowledge to be gained by getting you further embedded here.
What if we just bring her here, or like to you all, and then the enforcers can keep her safe, kind of like a witness protection? I wouldn't know what that is. Just, keep her safe.
Did you just make that up? Witness protection. That's
a genius idea. Somebody should have the enforcers start doing that.
I mean, somebody is higher up in the chain than we are.
I think that we can certainly keep the ward safe for several days, and keep them hidden. That's something we can do, provided that you all feel comfortable that you can safely exfiltrate them from the mansion without being witnessed.
I'm not super confident in our abilities on that front, but I am willing to give it our best shot.
Well, that's highly reassuring.
I'm feeling very persuasive today. I think it's going to be a good day.
If this kind of plot to assassinate a political figure isn't at the level of information you're looking for, do you have like an example of when we should come to bother you guys?
I'm a visual learner. I need.
Well,
do you have like a PowerPoint presentation or like a PDF that you can send us of like what's acceptable?
I don't mean to be crass, but I think if we were talking about a plot to assassinate a political leader, we would be having a very different conversation. But we are not. We're talking about a threat upon a political leader.
We're like one step away from being told to assassinate a political leader.
I mean, I don't know if that's one step.
We went from clearing out a cavern to basically assassinating an adjacent political figure.
It all sounds like dirty work that thieves don't want to do.
We want you all to be put in a position where you know about such it orders and assassination attempts and other plots before the contract goes out. Right? Does that make sense?
Yeah. So this does
And
seem
we're
like
just too far down the ladder right now.
this seems like the right kind of thing to get that trust from them.
Seems like it to me.
I think we have their trust. Now this is the nail in the coffin. I mean, I guess
Well,
if a coffin's a positive thing, but in this case, it's getting into a game. So it's a coffin. I don't think we should shift gears yet. I think we should craft our own way of solving this problem and gain their trust rather than thinking about hightailing it to the pirates right now. Now, don't get me wrong. I want everybody to join the gang that they came here to join and get the information they wanted to get. But we're in too deep with the Greybloods right now. So let's kidnap a person, fake the death, and hand a political figure a threatening note.
What do we do after, though? After the vote? Is the ward now on their own?
If we let them go, the Greybloods know they're still alive, then we
I
would lose
guess-
their trust a bit.
maybe we just have them leave town. I don't know. Can we?
But-
Maybe we can convince them to leave town, or just keep them with the enforcers for a long time.
It sounds
Or-
like we are separating her from her family.
It's not. She's
Not
just their
really. It's not her
employee.
blood fam. It's not an employee. It's like they took pity on her and just
Well-
like pseudo adopted. Like, oh yes.
Do we know that for sure?
Think the girl from Sweeney Todd.
No. Jake knows what a ward is. Joel does not.
Joel, just think about Sweeney Todd.
Joel, Sweeney Todd. You've seen it, right? They kill
Uh,
people and eat them.
You know,
That's
No,
up,
there's-
jumps up your alley.
Neither
Yes.
Joel nor Jake have seen it, to be honest.
Dang.
Lord Must may be willing to fund the preservation of his ward in secrecy. That might be something that could be explored after the fact.
Oh,
But
That's a great
not
idea.
something we can know. Because in order for this to work, he has to believe that they're dead and make this vote.
How much longer is Freya gonna be in town?
She said like 2 or 3 days.
So she may have she may already be gone by that time.
Yeah.
Never mind. I was gonna be like, I can try to see if she can smuggle her out, but
well, let's
heads
just
back to Anatoly. But
go with the kidnapping and figure out the rest after. I mean, at least we'll have presumably some help from old Atlas here to figure it out. Maybe Rochester, and I'm sure if we all put our heads together, we'll figure out a way to make it work.
Yes, I will bring this information to the lieutenant commander and I guess prepare for the safe house to be a temporary home for some time.
Kidnapping it is.
Yay.
guys, I'm excited to kidnap this woman.
This will be great.
go out on a limb and not on a limb. I'm just gonna say I don't like it. I don't like any of it. But just so you know, my voice has been heard.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, Captain Bedwig Plummer lost 2 of his party just to get into the Golden Grin, so this is quite a better price, I would say.
Oh no. How's Kelda's group?
My understanding is Kelda's group is doing well, that they've earned some trust with the Mungers.
Okay.
Convenient that we all happen to go separate ways in separate groups without ever communicating with each other.
That is convenient, isn't it?
Fucking magic.
Well, all right. I guess we got a kidnapping to plan.
Well, we need to figure out what we're going to tell her, because if we scare her, killing is easy, right? You just slash them and then they stop screaming. But like kidnapping is a whole other thing. We got to shut them up like right then and there
You
and
can knock
convince them that it's in
people
their best interest.
unconscious. There's gags. I bet we could get a potion to make her be unconscious. Or, there's options, right?
You're talking about drugging a woman to kidnap her.
Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure we were on the same page.
That does sound like thievery. We are stealing a person at that point.
Mm-hmm.
All right, now let's figure out how to make it look like a murder.
Oh, just slice your hand and...
That's not going to be enough for
I feel like they'll
we
want
go
a
to
body.
that. Either they'll want the body, or if we get some bones from Shoal, and then we go to like a butcher or something and get a bunch of blood.
Oh, we can make it look real brutal. Remember we fought those wolves in the woods on the way here? Maybe we could use some, find some more of them.
Yeah, I mean...
It'll at least have some, fur we can leave around. Yeah.
Yeah.
We can even ask her if we can, potentially cut some fur from her.
Or we could just do that once she's unconscious.
Either way, we can get some fur. We can go to a butcher or something of some kind, get the blood, maybe some meat scraps or something, so that it kind of looks like viscera, bone chunks. I don't know, something that would be like, oh look, we didn't leave a body, but there was a body here at one point.
Mm-hmm.
You can see Captain Atlas kind of stifles little burp of vomit and is like, "All right, well, I'm going to go report to the lieutenant commander. Good luck with the kidnapping." And he goes to make his leave.
And don't forget that you're a major part of this. Don't forget to stay up in the room.
Pushing.
Can do.
Wussy man. I work for the enforcers, but the sound of someone talking about viscera makes me vomit in my mouth.
Hey, if I was a crime scene detective, I would be puking all the time. I'm sure they do.
Probably.
All the time.
I feel like at the point where you're a crime scene detective, you've probably have had some desensitization training.
Yes, speaking as somebody who was recently desensitized, people get over it.
Oh dear.
Yeah, I feel like it's one of those you kind of have to. Otherwise, you can't do your job. And if you can't do your job, what are you even there for?
Yeah, what are you even doing here? All right, I'd say we head over to the estates and see what kind of intel we can get.
Right.
Agreed.
And then learn how to desensitize ourselves to gross innards. I'm pretty used to it.
Yeah, I feel like
let's
with
know
the
all
amount of
about
things
that.
that we've killed before, and then watching the subsequent partial eating of some things by Shoal, we're kind of used to it by now.
Yeah. For the record,
Thinking of that big chomper thing specifically, because I think Shoal only took part of him.
I think Raina would be more disturbed by cutting a tree down or something. Just saying.
Chopped down a tree
Same, honestly.
on Arbor Day. That was yesterday.
Well, they chopped down a tree to make you, Shoal. Or not Shoal, sorry.
Shoal, did you know they chopped down a tree to make you?
We think we heard that in the crowd today. But
That's how larvists are born.
Okay. Did we agree that we're going to the estates or
Well, to the nice part of town.
Yeah, so the city plaza,
around?
Yeah, which is in the center of the estates. So you're going to go head there and look for intel.
Mm-hmm.
It's about 1 PM at this point. Would you be looking to do anything before then and get there in the evening? You going to try and procure some bones or viscera or anything of that nature? Or get a sleeping potion, or what are we talking about here?
So we will try to see if we can get another set of bones.
Because we're just doing the recon part of it, right? We're not doing the actual thing yet. So I mean,
Yeah.
we could do the recon, figure out what we need to do, and then do it. Also,
Yeah.
Wait, are wolvens toys, or are they just like wolves that are?
no,
They're like werewolves.
They're like werewolves, yeah.
Okay,
They're
so
Fomorian.
they would have bones, like normal bones.
Yes.
Okay.
Are you
That's good to know.
suggesting that toys don't have bones? Are you
Well, it'd be
suggesting
really
that you
funny
don't have
if-
bones? Do you have
If they were
bones, sir?
toys and we put bones in there, they'd be like, where did these bones come from?
Toys have bones.
Sir, do you have
You have
bones?
bones.
No, I'm stuffing. I'm made
You
of
have
stuffing.
bones.
No, you have bones. You just look like you're made of stuffing.
Oh, gotcha.
Are you, sir? Are you thinking that if we chopped off your hand, you would just be stuffing?
Yeah. I kind of like that.
It's a nice
kind of
idea.
assume that for all.
But no, everyone is flesh and blood.
You
Yeah,
have
because
bones.
didn't we have
And
a
you'll
conversation
die
about
like
how
flesh
like
and blood.
Ronnie Bilger,
Yeah,
even
technically
though he's a
Ronnie Bilger.
skeleton, when you cut him open, he's still
bleeds.
flesh and bones inside his bone.
Oh my goodness.
He's got
Literally.
extra bones even.
He's got like a bone-like
Boneception.
exoskeleton. Yeah.
Bones
Probably
on bones.
don't overthink Ronnie Bilger.
I always overthink Ronnie Bilger. He's constantly on my mind.
He's the foundation of this entire campaign.
Fuck you, I'm not dead.
He
Um,
probably isn't. He probably isn't, and he's gonna be the big bad. It's gonna be him. It's gonna be him and the cart lady.
Lady. Actually, this would maybe be a good opportunity to retrieve the cart because that sure seems like a good way to carry a body around inconspicuously. A
Yeah.
living body.
You want my complete honesty? I don't think that woman wants to see us ever again.
That's fair.
If you guys want to return the cards, I say do it in the middle of the night where she will never see us again. But
Yeah, I'd say either forget the cut or make sure it's a secret that we're giving it back.
Yeah, like a surprise.
I can't even. The one thing I remember about her is that she said how important it was that we got it right back before she opened
Yeah.
the next day.
Well, we were just starting our thieving career and we didn't even know it.
We were really good at even back then. We theft a whole cart that we promised we'd give back.
yeah, we thefted it by paying for it.
Yeah, but
We rented it. It wasn't ours.
in any event, let's go to the nice part of town. Let's see
head up.
where the servants hang out and let's get the gossip.
If
Hot
you
God.
all want to accomplish that, I can head back to my new alchemist friend. Maybe they have like a weapon coating or a potion that can help.
Yeah.
If you need someone to go with you, I can go with you.
If you want. I hope I don't need someone. That sounds dangerous, but
Would you like to
I wouldn't
meet
mind the
Joe?
company. Oh, we're meeting.
Did you want someone to accompany you to meet Job?
We think you might like it.
Okay.
You might find a
Oh,
replacement in
you
case
can
you
get
need
one.
one.
The bones. Oh, God.
Yeah.
Joel, I think you would also know that the Big Rock Burial Ground primarily has toys interred there, and there probably wouldn't be any wolven bones.
But Job may know where we can find woven bones.
Maybe.
The soul would ask.
Well, why don't we start with the information gathering and we'll figure out the rest as we go.
Are there any other graveyards that I know of? That we know of, rather?
Roll a history check for me.
History check.
Good old grave robbing.
History check. I don't do good in history. That was a 15, but it didn't go in the box because Fantasy Grounds is acting funky. Okay, let's try this again. Oh, nope. Okay.
PM, unrelated to everything going on at the moment.
Mhm.
Would I know of any like, because I know when you're like within like criminal syndicates in like normal D&D, there's
Mhm.
things like, thieves can't, or like other ways of coding messages. Would I know anything like that to be able to send messages without things being read?
Unfortunately, you don't speak thieves' cant.
I mean, but is there anything else that I would know that isn't necessarily thieves can't?
No,
Damn it.
I'm
Alright.
sorry. On an
Never
11.
mind.
Oh god, I forgot Shoal changed his name to Shoal Johnson. On an 11, Shoal, you're not entirely sure where, but your understanding from Job when you asked them once was that that the pirates tend to bury their dead separately from most other graveyards on the cliff tops above the docks. So there's probably some graveyards there that would have woven bones, but you're not sure what they are or where they are.
We could try a different graveyard.
We could see about the one that pirates bury their bodies at to see if they have any woven bones. Would you like to go with me, Anna?
Sure.
Okay. Well then, I don't know if Flynn wants to go do the alchemy thing or go gather information with Ruben and I, but it's probably good if we're relatively split up so that we're not the recognizable group of strange folks that killed an enforcer. So,
yeah, I'll head to the alchemy.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can run that first. So Flynn, you return to the Brass Crane Brews.
Mm-hmm.
And are greeted once again by that Toy Knight shopkeeper, and he says, "Hello and welcome back. How can I help you?"
Hi. Your recipe worked really well. Look.
That's great.
Look, if you want to, I have it right here, and I just kind of show them the masterwork healing potion.
Okay, yeah. He takes a look and they're like, "That's some fine craftsmanship.
Thank
You're
you.
a good study."
Yeah, it was a ton of fun. If you ever need, if you're like swamped with work and you kind of need someone to help make some potions, I'd love to help out sometime. I'm learning a lot. I'm back here not to show off the potion, but because I was wondering if you had any kind of sleep potion or if you do weapon coatings at all.
Sleep potions, that's not something that I normally deal with. Okay. That's the type of potion the criminal element usually uses. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but, I just, judgy. Anxiety's really been making it hard. I have some narcolepsy issues. This is mostly just, under the table self-medication.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. You should try tea. Have you ever tried some chamomile tea?
Tea.
Oh, it puts me right to sleep when I'm restless.
I guess that's kind of like a potion. Do you have
Sometimes
any
I feel like
that'll knock people out? Like really potent tea?
Not particularly, other than the tea that I have myself, but it doesn't have any special properties or anything of that nature.
Okay. I guess let's answer, not to make you too uncomfortable with all these questions, I guess, but would you be able to point me in the direction of someone who might be a little more on the criminal side?
He looks almost a little offended that you asked. And he's like, "Oh, I don't quite deal with anybody of that nature. I'll be honest with you. I'm sorry, I can't be more helpful."
Okay, no, it's fine. I this was out of left field. Well,
how does he know it's criminal? Maybe you're just trying to get some strong ass melatonin because you can't sleep at night.
That's why
a sleeping potion is hella more strong than.
No, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. Maybe you have horrific. How dare he judge you? Maybe a sleeping potion is all that. You've gotten to the point where that's what you need to be able to sleep.
That was my angle, but he ain't biting.
No judgment from me. If you need that to sleep, then have that to sleep.
Okay. Well,
is there anything else I can help you with?
Everyone in this town is so judgy.
If I wanted to try to freehand, do you have an idea of what kind of ingredients you would use if you did have to make one? Gun to your head. Theoretically, figuratively. For it.
Jesus.
Make a persuasion check.
Roll high.
I'm gonna have to. I did.
Oh, hell yeah.
We're such good friends.
He kind of takes a moment and he's like, well, since we're both craftsmen, I think, it doesn't harm to speculate. And I think that probably, and he begins listing off a few ingredients. And you think that probably you could get all of these ingredients across the marketplace. I'm not going to make up ingredients because I don't know them off the top of my head. But you think you would be able to get the ingredients, but you also realize that this would be a ridiculously hard potion to make without the recipe or without exact measurements or anything like that. But you could go for it if you would like.
Ask our good friend
Yago.
It would probably cost about 150 gold in materials.
Oh my god. Oh, okay. I'll
could ask Iago.
Is there like a public library kind of place that I could go try to like study some alchemy books at?
No, there is no public library with alchemy books in the city of Toraigh, unfortunately.
They need to really upgrade their infrastructure.
For real.
Yeah.
That's an oversight. What time of day is it?
Like 1 PM.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna head down to the docks then.
Okay.
I guess. And yeah, I guess I'll stop by Iago's on my way. I'm going on a whole journey here.
Apparently. Yeah, so on the way, as you get to that kind of corner where it splits between the Bootleg Market and Midtown Cross, you find that cellar door that leads into Iago's basement brews. The ceiling is still as full of smoke as ever. The cauldron is piping hot and boiling. And you hear the heavy thudding of boots as the squirrely-looking Iago comes out from behind the door behind the cauldron and says, "Yes? What do you want?"
Iago! Hi. Do you remember me? I was here a few days ago.
Yes.
Nice. Yeah. Loved our conversation. Very inspiring.
I loved it too. I
ended up doing my own little potions. Not as good as yours, unfortunately. But, maybe one day. I am trying to find a sleeping potion, something that would just really, knock me out at night when I just can't fall asleep. I was wondering if you had anything like that.
Sleeping potion. Sleeping potions are a little hard to come by.
That's what I've been finding.
I have potions that make things go to sleep permanently.
I am very interested in that, but not today.
Okay.
I was told this list of ingredients might be combined into something like that, and I'll list off the ingredients.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't really have the experience. Would you know how to combine these into a mixture?
Well, first of all, 2 of those ingredients are wrong. So you would want to use, and he gives you 2 different ingredients.
Okay.
And make a persuasion check.
11.
He says, and I'm not really sure what the right amounts would be to make a sleeping potion. Again, I do the perma sleeping potions.
Right. That seems more effective.
Okay. Is it like all the same ingredients, you just half it? That's sleeping instead of death?
Just dilute it with some water, yeah.
Yep. Once you add enough ingredients, eventually it becomes infinite sleep.
Okay. Well, thanks for entertaining those questions. My last one, kind of a curveball. Would you have any interest in buying? And then I'll show the masterwork healing potion. Would you be interested in buying like a potion off of me? And then...
I'll give you 35 gold pieces.
Okay. Well, I really appreciate that. I'll take that.
Okay.
That's technically a profit.
That is. Go ahead and
professional
deduct
potion maker.
15 gold pieces from your inventory and remove the potion.
Deduct?
Or sorry, add. Yeah. I'll deduct it from my inventory.
Yeah.
But no, deduct the potion from your inventory is what I meant to say.
Right. Cool.
Anything else I can help you with?
Not today. I think that's about it. Thank you
Okay.
so much.
Yep, you have a great day.
You as well.
And he clomp heads into the back again.
I will now head to the docks. This is now the Flynn
Already
show.
not
Everyone else
doing
can
that?
shut up.
What are you looking for at the docks?
I want to go into closer to evening when like the bars fill up. I'm looking to go into some of the like seedier dock bars and try and see. This is where Ethan's knowledge is conflicting with what I want to do, which I guess is similar to Flynn's knowledge. I'm trying to find a like seedy person that might like know about like roofies or something and get like underground drug to knock someone out. Because I was told it's a criminal thing, so I'm looking for criminals.
Yeah.
Criminal potion
Yeah.
I
show.
feel like we should reiterate that we're drugging this woman because we don't want to kill her.
We're the good guys.
We're the good guys.
Duh.
We're nice guys, okay? We're just
Are we?
drugging her so that
We're
we don't.
non-consensually drugging, which I don't think there's a consensual drugging. This woman to save her life. We're
Okay.
That's all. That's all I want to do. Pretty easy, simple task, I think.
All right. And other people were heading to the docks as well, right?
Where are we?
Shoal
where
and
we're going? Oh,
Raina.
right.
No, I was
No.
going with Ruben to investigate the nice part of town, kind of.
Shoal and Anna then.
Yes.
Yeah.
The
Okay.
Schwums, what am I talking about? The Ritzies.
Putting on the Ritz.
All right, so we will come back to you, Flynn.
Fair enough.
And we will pick up with Raina and Jack, or with Ruben. So the two of you,
That's not my name.
the two of you make your way out of Keelhall Heights and towards the estates. You walk through the middle of this, kind of your first time traversing through the middle of the farmland that makes up the estates. It's rather pretty, although it does look like it's going to begin to rain. And you come upon City Plaza, which is this large city square in the center of the estates with very, very large looming kind of government buildings with big pillars and columns and large sets of stairs leading up to these office buildings. There is like a large statue in the center of town that looks like it has like a bunch of different toy characters, all with like bows and arrows and spears all pointing up at the sky. And there are a bunch of people milling about. Most of them look highly aristocratic, a lot of them in like very fine pantaloons and doublets and things of that nature. Both of you go ahead and roll a perception check for me.
Perception.
The peas get really. Oh my gosh! I haven't rolled a single good thing all night.
I got a 6.
Well,
You
luckily
got a
my
14.
perception.
Yeah, you gotta.
Yeah, with a 14 perception, it takes you some time and you kind of mill around a little bit just to kind of get a sense of where people are heading. And you notice a good amount of people ducking in and out of this large inn. And walking up closer to it, you see a sign hanging out on front that says "Ye Old Cup Inn." And looking through the windows, it has like very large, expansive windows that allow you to kind of see in through the vast majority of the room inside the bar. You see it's dimly lit and large oak tables with huge crowds around them, and it's fairly heavily populated. It looks like it would be a good place to go in and do some eavesdropping if you were so inclined.
Some eaves.
What do you think,
drop some
Ryan?
eaves.
Do we just go into a place and hope for the best? What about this place? Ye Old Cups Inn?
Ye Old Cup Inn.
I mean,
Ye Old Cup Inn. I almost said it again. Well, I'm an old man, and that's what you do when you're old. You add an S to everything.
I think this is as good a place to start as any.
And then after that, we're going to go to JC Penney's and grab some new trousers.
Perfect. It sounds like a plan.
All right.
Okay.
So, we approach a door.
All right, yeah, the two of you head up to the door and you open it, and there's like a small little like entrance vestibule, and there is like a finely appointed host or greeter standing at the front entrance. It is like about like a 4.5 foot tall badger stuffkin.
Like, are they gonna be like, I'm sorry, you don't have suit jackets? You can't come in. You can borrow one of these ones we have in a closet here.
It looks like this is the kind of place that might happen, but no, it does not. And they just give you like a little bow of the head, and they say, "Interested in a table for two?"
Raina would like to look around the room and spot if there's any empty tables that are around more people, you know.
This place is kind of full to the point where there's really no table you could sit at where you wouldn't be around a lot of people.
Okay.
It also looks like there are only maybe like 3 tables for two in the entire place that are available.
Yeah, just put us in your busiest spot. It'll be great.
Very well. Will you follow me? And they escort you to a table. And they say, "Can we interest you in some wine?"
Yeah.
Would you be looking for a red or a white?
A red.
Yeah.
Right. Why not, right? Take the edge off. This is a nightmare.
And they say, "Very well. We'll fetch you a glass and see what you think." And they walk off.
Oh, careful. It's probably expensive.
Right, we're fitting in, okay? It's really not the end of the world if we have a little bit of wine.
All right. Well, do you recognize any of the fancy folks in this place? Any politicians? Anything like that?
Is that a history or a perception?
Perception, yeah.
The first good roll.
Nice. With a 21 perception check, you're able to recognize pretty immediately that this place probably doesn't have like the actual nobles themselves eating at it ever. It probably mostly has like staff and service folk.
We're looking for.
And
they talk.
Yeah. You spend about a half hour just kind of listening to try and see if you can get a bead on anything. You're eventually a wait person comes by with your 2 glasses of wine, and they say, "That'll be 1 gold piece."
Oh, that's not so bad. I got this one, Raina. You've certainly dished out all the gold you needed to.
I'm sorry, 1 gold piece each.
I got this one, Raina. Okay.
And they say, "Just call us over if we can get you anything else," and walk off. After some time passes, you do eventually hear somebody saying "must estate," and it takes you a second to kind of hone in on what you're saying, on what they're saying, but there is this poppet sitting about 2 tables over in a booth against the wall, that it looks like they're wearing some type of like guardsman's uniform. It doesn't look like enforcers or anything like that.
Creamies here.
It's not creamy in color, but they are wearing some type of leather armor. And they say, I'm telling you, Joni, you have to come over to the Must Estate. The gig's as easy as it comes. And the toy knight sitting across from him was like, I don't know. The Caldwellsworth's job is good. They pay well. I mean, we always get leftovers after every feast. Can't really ask for much better than that. And then the poppet says, Joni, I'm telling you, we essentially just have to peruse the property itself. We don't have to do any checks. We don't have to do any interior work all night. It's one of the easiest gigs you could ask for. And Joni scoffs the toy knight and is like, how can that be possible? Every manor has interior checks all night. How else do they keep the place safe? And the poppet replies, I don't know. They must trap it or something, but they don't need people in there, so it's an easier night for me.
Is the Wolven their guard?
Do they look like guards? Like, sounds like they are.
They're both wearing labels that say guard. No, I'm just kidding. No, they are both armored and armed in such a way where it looks like they could be guards folk. But their colors are not recognizable, because you're not really familiar with the colors people would be wearing around here.
What was the other job? Okay, so he's talking to somebody about working at the Must Estate, but the other guy said, no, my job's pretty cushy here at the blank.
Caldwellsworth Estate.
Okay. Does that mean anything to us?
It doesn't stand out to you other than it must be the name of another manor or noble family in the area.
Okay.
What color is the one that sounds like they work for the Must Estate wearing?
They are wearing like a dark burgundy and blue.
Okay, make note of that then. Arena will lean over to Ruben and say, I don't like the sound of it sounds great that they don't have guards inside at night, but I don't like the sound of them speculating that there might be traps inside.
Yeah, I think maybe I should go talk to them.
Yeah, I mean, you could tell him you're a retired enforcer. Tell him you're thinking about looking for a guard job and you just couldn't help it over here. And that's not conspicuous, right?
That was like everything in my head when I brought it up.
Yeah, perfect.
Nothing to say.
Same wavelength.
Okay. All right. And I take a large swig.
Mm-hmm.
Ruben and Jack are together on that. And then and then I walk over to their table and gentlemen, I couldn't help but overhear. You work for Cottlesworth and you work for Must. I'm in the garden business. Wouldn't you know it? Look at me. Looking for some work. What can you tell me?
Go ahead and roll a persuasion check.
Persuasion. All the P's. It gets really confusing.
Yeah, there are a lot.
Oh, look at that.
Ooh,
I was persuasive.
19.
The poppet says, aye, that we are. Come on and have a seat. So you're looking for guard work, eh?
Yeah, I'm pretty mean with a cut. That means sword to you guys.
Right. Tell me, what kind of experience do you have?
Well, I used to be an enforcer.
Oh, a creamy, eh?
Yeah, we don't call him that. We don't call him that if you are them, but yeah. I know what you're trying to say.
How long did you serve?
About 17 years.
Wow. And after all that, you're still looking to do some garden.
Yeah, well, I can't necessarily agree with all the political background that goes into being an enforcer, but protecting is what I do, and keeping it simple, protecting a family, that sounds right up my alley.
The toy knight says, well, I'm telling you, if you're looking for guarding, you should come to the Cottlesworth estate. They're looking to hire an additional 5, mostly to do nights and weekends, and they pay really well. I was just telling Dougal here, they pay really well. They feed you after all the feasts, and they have a ton of feasts, and it's really a great gig.
And like that all sounds really good. I just have one condition, and it's that, I'm a good guard. Trust me to do the guard work, right? Don't put up traps. Do you guys put up traps over at Cottlesworth? Is that something you do? Because I'm not interested in anybody putting up traps.
The toy knight kind of lifts her cup and says, here, and takes a swig. He goes, no, we don't deal with any traps, which is good because a lot of us aren't really that technical. But Dougal here, he says that they've got traps.
Oh yeah, what kind of trips? What kind of trips you got, Must? What kind of trips you got?
Okay.
Going right for it.
What kind of traps you got, Must?
I said in Must.
No,
well, maybe not. Maybe I did.
The poppet says, well, I'm not saying that the Must estate is necessarily trapped. I'm just saying that they don't have people working nights on the interior of the estate. It's only exterior work, wall work, maintaining the property.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I've never seen any traps be set up or heard anything about it, but I have to assume, I mean, how else do you guard a place? There's only 4 or 5 people living in that place, and then the servants,
it
aren't there at night.
Sounds like you need another guy. You don't have anybody on the inside. What if somebody sneaks past an exterior, and then all of a sudden, everyone inside is defenseless?
I mean, that's what I've been saying, but I just get paid to walk around and make sure no intruders come in. If they tell me they don't need any interior work, I'm not going to do any interior work.
Well, you guys cover the underground tunnels, right? People digging these days, Oh, don't tell me you're a guard in this day and age and you don't know about the tunnel diggers.
I haven't heard about any tunnel diggers. And he looks, Joni, have you heard about tunnel diggers? And she's like, no, I haven't heard. Where did you hear about this?
Just something to keep in mind, mate. Yeah. Where did I hear about it? Experience. I was an enforcer after all.
Right, but what experience led you to know that there are tunnels?
Well, there's not pre-existing tunnels. People just got really good at digging.
Oh, you're talking about tunnelers. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I guess we'll be on the lookout. And she kind of looks at the poppet confused, like,
get a load of this guy.
Well, something to think about. Name's Jerem Johnson. Keep a lookout for my application and resume.
Okay, yeah, I'll have the Cottlesworths keep an eye out for it. And the poppet says, I'll have the Must do the same. It was good to meet you, Jerem. It's
Jerem.
All right, Jerem. Good to meet you.
Never learned how to spell, but that was pretty. All right, good to meet you. Well, even my friend over there hanging, so I better get back.
All right, you take care now.
You too.
And you head back over to Raina's table.
All right, so I say, instead of burrowing, we do an aerial strike.
We gonna do that?
Well, because I kind of gave him the idea that we have a burrower by accident. I didn't mean to do that. I got all up in the moment, and I started telling them about digging, and then I don't know. Maybe they won't be able to look out, but I kind of feel like I screwed that up for us.
It's okay. I mean, they made it sound like it's a pretty lightly guarded place. My concern would be, you know, I assume Ruben has relayed this whole conversation.
Sure.
All right. My concern would be traps, not great, but if we're on the lookout for them, probably not that bad. But what if they're not guarding the inside because they got something to hide? I don't know. Maybe they got big old monsters in their closets.
I think I made him
Something to
pretty
hide
comfortable
from
with
me and my monkey.
I think I made him pretty comfortable with me, and he didn't say anything about traps.
Well, but he said he didn't go inside. So I don't know. It's just something to consider. It is good to know that we're only going to run into guards on the outside, so it probably won't be that hard to get past them. Did he say how many worked there? I guess not. Or just said how many they were hiring.
No, yeah, just
Yeah.
That was Cottlesworth as well.
Yeah. Fuck.
Yeah, he seemed more like excited to hire people.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if these guards think they have a cushy job there and it's real easy, I mean, that's only good for us because that means they're not really looking for trouble.
Yeah.
Okay.
I say we get fish bait in on it and we play it safe and attack from the underground.
I mean, I don't even know if we need to do that, but we'll figure it out. Should we look for more information somehow?
I say we keep listening.
Yeah.
Let's put on our perception ears and listen.
Yeah, more perception checks, please.
Sure. What are you keeping an ear out for?
Just more people, different people, not those people talking about it.
I guess I'd like to listen for any rumors about the Mustis family in general, but also any mentions of the Privateering Act and people's feelings. I guess if this is the servant's place, that's not so likely, but
go ahead and make perception checks.
I got a 15.
I didn't roll yet. Perception. My bad.
No, you're all good.
Ooh, 17.
So on a 15 and a 17, there is a significant portion of this bar that you're able to tell from overhearing conversation and stuff that these are not like servants necessarily, but they are also staff of the offices around here. Almost everyone is talking about the Privateering Act. And so really, because of your location here, it becomes a question of, you tell me, what information are you trying to suss out about the Privateering Act? It seems like everyone here is talking about it. They're talking about how their bosses are almost all in favor of it. A lot of what you're hearing is that like they have all positioned themselves economically so that they will benefit from it, even though they aren't invested in piracy in any way. And that's like how they are justifying their yay vote. You do hear a few toy hardliners who are entirely against piracy and entirely against Fomorians and the Golden Grin, and their bosses are the same, and they're glad that their bosses are holding the line. But what is it particular that you're looking to learn more?
I don't know. That was helpful. I guess I'm kind of curious who's pushing for this in the first place, or like how, I don't know if I'm phrasing this well, but like how it came to be that there was a like let's legitimize piracy law on the books.
Yeah. It takes a while for you to kind of hear these conversations go through and process all of it, but you easily overhear like 3 different groups of employees talking about how they think that the the House Assemblyman they work for is on the take from the Golden Grin, and that they're being compensated to vote yay.
That sounds like something that we should probably report to Atlas and Rochester and those folks, maybe.
I'm going to also say, unfortunately, on a 17 even, you don't hear too much other conversation about the Must estate specifically, just because it would be pretty uncommon for that much conversation to be going on about one particular noble person. But
yeah, I think we have all we can get from here.
That was fairly productive.
Yeah, I'd say so.
All right. I guess what time would it be now?
I think it would be probably around like 6 p.m.
Start heading back.
Yeah. And I think that is where we're going to leave off for this evening. And we will pick up next week with Flynn, Shoal, and Anna's foray into the docks. But before we do so, would the three of you please roll me a d6?
Wait, who?
The three of
Shoal, Flynn, and Anna.
Oh, gotcha.
Who?
Okay.
2, 5, and 2.
We will learn about the result of that next week. Thank you all very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode. And until next week, let the dice tell the story. Have a good night.